In Tabaqatul Hanabila it is mentioned, Abu Hayran rahmatullahi alayhi, he says, my daughter, she is blind. My daughter, she is blind. But whatever hadith from Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud, Nasai, Ibn Majah, whatever hadith from Sihah al-Sitta, if you ask her, she will answer. She is blind, but all the hadith in Sihah al-Sitta is not. My dear respected brothers, before 100 years, in between 100 years, Farid Tayyib rahmatullahi alayhi says, I learned the kitab Mishkat at home from my grandmother. From my grandmother. That means that women, they had the knowledge of hadith, they had the knowledge of Quran. So my dear respected brothers, just imagine when the women folk, they are knowledgeable, and even Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, and Ibn Asakir rahimahullah, they used to say, we have learned near plenty of mashayikh, more than 80 asatiza of us are women. They used to give riwayat of women also. So what I am trying to say, my dear respected brothers, to have a very healthy community, to bring up our children in a good way, first of all, my dear respected brothers, the women, they should be nurtured and they should be rectified. Because there are two extremes. In one hadith, Prophet ﷺ said, "Ad-dunya kulluha mata' wa khayru mata'iha al-mar'atu salihah." The whole world, it is mata', unvaluable, small items. And among that, وَخَيْرُ مَتَاعِهَا, among these assets of dunya, the most best creation is al-mar'atu salihah, a pious woman. This is one extreme, and at the same time, Prophet ﷺ said about the other extreme also, فَاتَّقُوا الدُّنْيَا وَاتَّقُوا النِّسَاء, be fear of the fitna of dunya, and be fear of the fitna of nisa, the women. مَا تَرَكْتُ بَعْدِي فِتْنَةً أَضَرَّ عَلَى الرِّجَالِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ, I have never left a dangerous fitna than nisa, than ladies. So if there is 100% fitna in the world, 50% of the sabab for those fitna are from women. So my dear respected brothers, it is very important to have a very healthy religious community. The women folk, they should be nurtured very well. Because when we see behind each and every scholar, those days, Salafus Salih, the support from the women was there. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, he memorized the Quran when he was 7 years old. And he memorized the kitab Mu'atta Malik when he was 9 years old. 9 years old. He memorized the whole kitab. Some people, they ask, oh Imam Shafi'i, from where did you get so much quwwatul hifaz, memory power? How come? You memorized the Quran in 7 years, in the 9th year, you have memorized the whole hadith of Mu'atta Malik. He said, the reason behind it is my mother. Why? My dear respected brothers, Imam Shafi was a yatim, often. Imam Shafi said, the reason behind it is my mother. In a kitab, Bringing Up Children, was authored by the South African scholars. In that kitab, they have mentioned this incident. Imam Shafi rahimahullah said, the reason is my mother have never breastfed me without wudu, without ablution. My dear respected brothers, breastfeeding with ablution, it is not farad, it is not a sunnah. But still, see how much ihtiyat that mother had. She took this as a ibadah. I'm going to breastfeed my child. So she took this as a, it is easy for us to say, but just imagine a child crying at 12 o'clock midnight. The women, it's difficult to breastfeed at that time, to get up, go to the bathroom, washroom, take wudu, and come and breastfeeding the child. How difficult it is. But still they wanted the child, they had a very big mission and mission. I want to make my child as an imam. So because of that they did it, my dear respected brothers, Allah made. That's why the scholars, they used to say, the women of those days, they were not a mother for a special, they were not a mother for a single child. They were a mother for a ummah, for a community. My dear respected brothers, even Imam Bukhari, it is mentioned in history, when he was born, he was blind. And it is mentioned in the history, his mother was a Abida. Abida means worshipping God, very pious woman. My dear respected brothers, each and every day she used to ask dua for son. One day, in a dream, she saw Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. It was told to her, your dua has been accepted. After waking up, she saw to see Muhammad bin Ibrahim, Muhammad bin Ismail bin Ibrahim, rahmatullahi alayhi. That means her son, Bukhari rahimahullah, Allah has given the nur in his eyesight. The dua was accepted. But he was a blind child, but the dua was accepted. Afterwards, he became a very big imam to such an extent. Imam Bukhari used to say, I have memorized 600,000 ahadith. There are only 4 to 7,000 hadith in Bukhari, but he has memorized 600,000 hadith. But from where it began? From the mother. Qutubuddin Bukhtiyar rahimahullah, when he was 3 years old, he was sent to the madrasa, to the maktab, to learn the Quran. The Ustad, first of all, he started by reciting the Ta'awud. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Qutubuddin Bukhtiyar rahimahullah, he started from A'udhu and he recited the Quran up to 10 volumes, 10 juzu by heart. The Ustad was surprised. He asked, Qutubuddin, you are 3 years old. How come you recite 10 juzu of Quran? He said, my dear Ustad, my mother, she is not a hafiza. She has only memorized 14 juzu of the Quran. But whenever she nurture me, whenever she breastfeed me, whenever she wash me, feed me, she used to recite the Quran all the time. I have memorized 14 volumes. Whatever my mother has memorized, I also have memorized. But the thing is, I don't know how to join the letters and read the Quran, so my mother sent me to the madrasa. My dear respected brothers, this was the situation of Salafus Salih. The women folk those days, they were religious, they were pious. So the children of those women, my dear respected brothers, they were very big ulama, very pious people. So to see a very healthy community, yesterday we were speaking about youth, it is easy to say we should rectify the youth, we should reform the youth should be good. My dear respected brothers, to have children of those days, the women, they should change their life. So the month of Ramadan is given to us to change our life, to take this Ramadan as a turning point of our life. So my dear respected brothers, the youth should change their life. And especially the women, they should change our life. Though we are having the discussion between men, my dear respected brothers, we have wives, we have children, we have daughters. So we should target this. My wife, she should be a role model. My daughter, she should be a role model. I should nurture them in a very way so that there will be a very good, healthy community in the future. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
For more lectures visit Harrow Bayan YouTube channel.